Hey everyone, it's Deanna. I am here with the third process video in my simple stamping series. And for this layout, I'm going to be doing another monochromatic layout, and it's going to be in yellow this time. And I am going to be actually stamping the title. So that's what I'm going to use the stamping technique for in this layout. I have to admit, in the end, the stamping didn't turn out perfect, but it it served its purpose. So there was a I guess I wish I would have used different paper for this, but it's never been a problem to use the textured cardstock with stamping before, so I'm not exactly sure why this one didn't show up as well, but it did work out, and it wasn't all of the stamps, it was just a couple of them. So it could have just been that I didn't have enough ink on the stamp or something too. But I am pulling several stamps, and I went through my stamps and just really tried to find enough stamps that would do the majority of the titles. So I do have to do a couple of the words where I write them, but for the most part, I'm able to find "you are," "reason why," "life," and "wonderful." And I believe, let's see, there's several, a couple different brands. So there's a Studio Calico one, which is the "you are," and that's an older stamp that I got in a kit. The "reason why" is an Ali Edwards story stamp. Or sorry, that's a one little word stamp. And then the "life" is an Ali Edwards story stamp. And then "wonderful" comes from a stamp set from My Favorite Things called Simply Fab. So a variety of different stamp sets there. And I basically just kind of marked off where I wanted the title based on where my picture was going to be, and then just did my best to line it up. All right, so I just basically erased those pencil lines and wiped some of the eraser off, and now I'm going to make an attempt to write "the" and "is so." I'm not super happy with the way "so" turned out, but I do end up going back later and using a white gel pen to kind of, I don't know, to cover up a little bit of where that double scribble was in the O. And then I'm backing that white cardstock with an Elle Studio Little Moments paper. And then I want to use some other, some other pattern paper on here. And I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to back the photo and, what I was even going to back it with. But I really love this pattern paper. It's one that came in a Felicity Jane kit, and I like both sides so much, so it's so hard for me to decide what I want to do. But then I have this acetate paper. I have no idea where this acetate paper has been all my life, because I'm pretty sure I would have bought like 100 sheets of it. It is just black stripes and, against the clear acetate, and I love, love, love it. It's a We Are Memory Keepers, Clearly Posh, I believe is what it's called. And I think that throughout this process of making the layouts for the simple stamping, I believe I use up the entire sheet, like every little bit. I loved it so much. And if there was any left, I definitely kept it so that I could use it for something else. So I was going to glue that down, and then I decided that for the journaling, I wanted to do some hidden journaling. So I took a white piece of paper and just kind of covered up where I had some of that glue. And then I'm going to create the pocket by just adding a bunch of pop dots. Now, I was at a crop here. If I would have been at home, I would have used some of the foam tape instead of a bunch of pop dots, but this is what I had on hand, so this is what I used. And so I'm just trying to line those pop dots up. I have to make sure that they're not sticking out from the photo. So, obviously you don't want to see them from the front. And so I'm going to use this skinny pop dot, which is just the edge of those Stampin' Up! Pop dots. And so that works out nice. So I don't have to worry about the circle sticking out. And of course, it's just one nice line of pop dots. So I'm just kind of making sure that it, fits in there and slides out easily. and adding some more pop dots because I need to pop the whole thing up. And I used that card there is actually one of those cards from the Elle Studio paper that I was, or not Elle Studio, the Felicity Jane paper that I was saying I liked so much. And so this was nice because I got to use both sides of it. So I'm going to lay that down, and eventually I'm going to create a tag for the top of that card because when I measured it, I didn't do the best job. It actually goes down a little further than I like, so I do need to have a tag in order to know that that there is journaling back there. And I didn't want to pull the whole thing off and try to add more pop dots, so I just need to make the tag a little taller. And I just do that by just die cutting a label for the top. Now these are Pinkfresh Studio wood veneers, and they're kind of dipped in paint, and I decided to use that entire row of the hearts with the yellow paint, and I just lay that at the bottom. And I absolutely love these sequins, and I'm pretty sure I probably went a little overboard with them, but they're so beautiful. They also came in one of the Felicity Jane kits, and it's just a mixture of like yellow orange or kind of a butter color and real light yellow, pale yellow, some gold. It's gorgeous. And then that flare is also from a Felicity Jane kit. Here's that tab that I put at the top. I think I called it a label earlier. It's a tab. And the only regret is that I have a sequence there that's a little too close to that journaling spot, so it's really hard for me to get out, but I'll just have to be careful. All right, so I am just going to add some black enamel dots here, and that is it for this layout. So there will be some close-ups at the end, and I just want to say thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you next time.